The ideas of buried treasure sounds like it only exists in stories, but throughout history, valuable objects, coins, jewelry, crowns even, have often been either deliberately buried or just lost, and sometimes found once again.
I still can't believe it today, it's unreal.
Everything from cash in a couch to ancient war weapons, strange golden eggs too. We all grew up hearing stories of hidden riches, pirate maps and tales of wild adventures. They're marked with a gigantic X if the treasure hunter is lucky, but such findings could mean fame, fortune, or simply to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience in locations you wouldn't believe. Here are 15 times people found money and gold at strange places. Strange golden eggs? It doesn't take much to dig for treasure. You'll need a good shovel, a pick or mallet, a bag to carry your treasure in, and yeah, you'll need your next level instincts. How or why this person found these bizarre globes we'll never know. But the point is, he tried. And just look at the golden eggs he unearthed. What do you think it is? And how do you think it got there? Fact is, treasures are out there. And these people are part of a movement of curious people who aren't relying on big rigs to move soil around. They do it themselves. These treasure hunters take their own curiosity and some elbow grease and make the earth move on their own. And they end up finding treasures like this. But what exactly is it? These videos are a part of a wider trend of treasure hunters discovering strange combinations of rocks and precious stones. Maybe these glistening globes were planted there to keep the spirit of the hunt alive. They do kind of appear to be man-made. There's no way these were formed naturally. But does it really matter? That's exactly how people have found treasure in the past. Go with it. We'd be pretty excited to come across this on a hunt, wouldn't you? Hey, did you know that if you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you're more likely to win the lottery? So what are you waiting for? Guy finds gold bars in tank. The folks at this tank restoration company have one of the most interesting jobs we've come across. These guys restore tanks and drive them, even supplying tanks for films, events, and even hosting driving events. But when they showed up for work on this day, the employees were likely surprised by what they discovered in a recent acquisition. More than $2 million in gold. Nick Mead, owner and avid heavy vehicle collector, decided to purchase the $37,000 tank after coming across it online, modeled after the Russian T-54. During the Gulf War, Chinese manufacturers produced the tank in bulk and sold many to the military units all over. While disassembling the vehicle for restoration, an employee and mechanic alerted Nick that he believed that one of the fuel tanks was filled with guns. And typically, it's a surprisingly common occurrence when going through old military machinery. So they grabbed a camera to ensure that they were safely covered should they recover any illegal firearms. But wouldn't you know it, instead they found 5 gold bars weighing in at a whopping 68.5 pounds and valued at almost $2.5 million. Just think about how many tanks you can get with that kind of money. $43K in a couch. This Michigan man said the ottoman for a couch he purchased from a secondhand store always felt a bit uncomfortable, but he didn't think much about it at first. Howard Kirby bought the couch and other furniture at a charity shop about 90 miles northwest of Detroit for a measly $70. He threw the piece of furniture in his man cave. However, something felt off about it. The foot cushion always seemed kind of hard, he said, but little did he know that it was because it was stuffed with cold hard cash. To get to the bottom of it, his daughter-in-law opened up the piece of furniture to get to the bottom of its weird stuffing and found a box containing just over $43,000 in cash. His initial reaction was to keep it, and he even contacted a lawyer who told him that he had the legal right to hold on to it. But Kirby's faith made him look for the original owner of the couch, so he met with the couch's original owners to return the money. The couch belonged to the grandfather of the family, who died about a year before the treasure was found. So the family called the thrift store to ask them to pick the couch up and left their contact information. The store often hears from people who discover items left behind. Kirby was the first to actually return something. Pablo Escobar's secret safe. Workers demolishing the former Miami mansion of an infamous Colombian drug king have uncovered a heavy metal safe and are yet to uncover its hidden secrets. The locked safe was discovered on the property owned by Escobar in the 1980s. It was found buried under concrete at the entrance to the mansion. As one of the last walls fell on the 7,336 square foot house, the safe was discovered. The safe was hidden beneath the entrance of what's been a large pink mansion consisting of 4 bedrooms, a pool, 6 bathrooms, and a garage. So naturally, the house's owner, a fast food chain founder, and his wife, a television journalist, are now waiting with bated breath to discover what's inside the heavy gray container. The most recent find will be taken to a bank until it can be opened. The 1948 property is believed to have been used by Escobar as a hideout and as a hideout for his henchmen while they trafficked illegal drugs between Colombia and the United States. In 1987, the U.S. seized the Miami property along with $20 million and other properties owned in Florida. There could be anything in this secret safe: money, jewels, drugs, weapons, you name it. It's amazing that this went undiscovered for so many years. Hand of Faith Golden Nugget. This is the biggest golden nugget in existence, the second biggest ever discovered and the biggest ever found with a metal detector. Quite a find, right? In 1980, Kevin Hillier took his new toy out for a spin in his tiny hometown of Wedderburn, Australia. But instead of a few odd coins or rusty nails, he found this golden chunk, a 61-pound golden nugget barely a foot below the ground surface. It's still regarded as the largest modern nugget found by a metal detector anywhere in the world. The nugget was the second largest nugget found in Australia during the 20th century. But according to records, there were numerous nuggets found during the Victorian Gold Rush era, commencing in the 1850s, that were far larger. So get yourself a metal detector. You never know. The Hand of Faith is currently on public display at a casino in Biloxi, Mississippi. Replicas of the nugget are on display at a number of golden nugget casinos all over the states. And in case you're wondering, the metal detecting treasure hunter made out as good as gold. He sold his golden nugget to the Golden Nugget Casino for over $1 million, all for the price of a personal metal detector. Construction workers find old vault. There are many stories about treasures being kept in a vault or a lockbox, buried deep under the ground of a house, somewhere nobody knows about except maybe the previous owners, are legendary and treasure enthusiasts. But these workers could not contain their excitement after finding a treasure of their very own. As it turns out, finding actual treasure can happen. Just ask these guys. They were able to retrieve paper bills which were kept in bundles. Then, upon going deeper into the contents of the vault, they were able to find a gold bar. Even better, several more gold bars were also pulled out from inside the vault, and the workers are absolutely gobsmacked. Do they get to keep it? Whose property is it anyways? But if you know anything about vaults or safes, then they're almost always extremely heavy. These gents wasted no time to find this loot. They hit the locks of the vault with a sledgehammer, but no luck. They then tried to open the upper part of the vault with a circular saw. Not happening. It still took several hits before they managed to create a small opening for a hand to fit in and try to see what the contents of the vault were. But eventually, with some rigorous smashing with a big hammer, they managed to get inside. Gold dust found in office. These workers installing some new air conditioning found a secret stash hidden away in a house in California. After hundreds and hundreds of installations, this jackpot discovery was one of a kind for the technicians. They found gold. More specifically, 12 baby food jars full of golden dust. Where the gold came from is still a mystery. Just like any other workday, the workers were probably not looking for treasure, but sure enough, that's what they found. They found the gold dust beneath the floor grid of the old house. A shocked handyman on the scene said, "I still can't believe it. It's unreal." We kind of just looked at each other and said, "Wow, we can't help but feel the same." Of course, the gold dust was handed over to the current owners of the house. Ultimately, that was the right thing to do, but we're pretty sure everyone involved in the moment thought, "Should I keep this?" Who wouldn't? We all want to find treasure. As the Sacramento homeowners called for what was going to be an expensive new heating and air system, they ended up striking it rich. The total cost of the HVAC installation? Around $6,500. The total value of what they found was $300,000 worth of gold. Australian gold miners' huge haul. This Canada-based company struck a mother lode in their mine in Australia, and they weren't even looking for gold. But it wasn't easy. The gold-encrusted rocks were found over 1,000 feet below the surface in an area just 10 feet by 10 feet. What are the chances? The largest specimen weighs in at almost 200 pounds and took 3 men to lift it. Hard work, but a celebration at the same time. A geologist at the mine says that the discovery is a once-in-a-lifetime find and of the largest gold hauls ever in the country. The miners discovered rocks containing 9,250 ounces of high-grade gold at their nickel mine near Perth, bringing more than $15 million worth of gold specimens to the surface in just 4 days. A geologist's dream. And of course, the company has also tightened security at the mine following the discovery. Workers are under constant surveillance, and armored trucks are responsible for getting the treasure out safely. The question now is, what other treasure is waiting in this mine? We bet these miners have been very excited to turn up for work ever since then. After the announcement, stock in the company rose 94.4%. The great thing about treasure is it can almost be found anywhere, even down under. The Saddle Ridge Hoard. This treasure trove of 1,427 gold coins unearthed in the gold country of the Sierra Nevada in California is a big-time haul. The most amazing thing about how this treasure trove was unearthed was who found it. A couple walking their dog discovered the millions on a path they had used for years. The discovery spawned a whirlwind of claims by people citing alleged family ties and theories about who had the coins, such as outlaw Jesse James. They dug out an old can with a stick and continued to return to the site to look for more coins, eventually using a metal detector. Their work eventually resulted in the discovery of 8 cans filled with 1,427 coins. The face value of the coins totaled $27,980, but was assessed to be worth $10 million, the largest known discovery of buried gold coins that has ever been recovered in the United States. Experts believe that the hoard may have been buried over a span of time, but surely not after the early years of the 20th century. After their discovery, the couple protected their find by hiding it in an old ice chest, then burying it under a pile of wood and concealing the location. You want to talk luck? What a wonderful world it would have been to have made this discovery. Cha-ching! Staten Island couple finds backyard treasure. Matthew and Maria Emanuel were excited after finding a rusted, rotting metal box submerged in dirt at their home while having new trees planted. But they were then stunned to learn the box was actually a safe with $52,000 worth of valuables inside, including wads of wet $100 bills and baggies stuffed with diamonds, gold, and jade. And of course, you're going to ask, where did it all come from? Who did it belong to? And furthermore, do we keep it? Certainly, that was on their minds. The treasure had to be returned to its rightful owner, so the curious couple looked into possible robberies located and found out that this huge treasure trove of valuables belonged to someone close by, like really close by. Their neighbors. The New York Police Department confirmed that the safe was stolen during a burglary at the neighbor's home years before. And even though the owners of the safe declined to comment, but were thrilled to have their stuff returned, they believe the robbery was the work of Robert Costanzo, the notorious ninja burglar who was convicted of 160 robberies on Staten Island, but officials couldn't say whether the notorious criminal was responsible. It pays to have honest neighbors. Forrest Fenn's $1 million treasure. The grandson of Forrest Fenn has confirmed that a medical school student from Michigan found the $1 million treasure chest that the retired art and antiquities dealer stashed in the wilds of Wyoming over a decade ago. Jonathan Jack found the treasure. Finn, who was also a decorated U.S. Air Force fighter pilot during the Vietnam War, left clues to finding the treasure in a poem and a memoir entitled The Thrill of the Chase. The discovery occurred on Red Mountain Pass in Colorado. A 20-mile stretch had been closed as crews cleared the pass of 60 feet of snow. Fortunately, John noticed something unusual as he was pushing piles of snow and debris. The med student freed it from the snowbank. "This is Finn's treasure," was spelled out on the trunk's lid. Inside was 4 copies of the 1970s issue Gold and Jewels children's book, the studio album Spirit by Jewel, a copy of the Joan Baez album Diamonds and Rust, a single issue of the 1942 single Chattanooga Choo Choo by the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and a framed photo of Australian singer and songwriter Ruby Hunter. And finally, under the cracked plastic of a Neil Diamond CD case was a signed copy of an unpublished manuscript by Forrest Fenn himself. The treasure has been estimated to be worth millions. Staffordshire treasure. Dating from the period AD 600 to AD 650, When the kingdoms of Anglo-Saxon England were battling for prominence, this was left behind. It's essentially a war hoard consisting of spectacular items experts believe were captured in battle by armies from the kingdom of Mercia. But who found it? A man with a metal detector, that's who. He heard his machine beep in a field in Lichfield, England, and started digging. He did not expect to find what became famously known as the Staffordshire treasure. It included items such as a large processional cross that offered convincing evidence that religious artifacts were being carried into battle in this period, and a curious gold item referred to for years as the mystery object, now believed to have been a jeweled ornament that sat on top of a bishop's headpiece. That finding alone completely transformed experts' understanding of this time. The Staffordshire hoard is the largest hoard of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork found ever. It consists of almost 4,600 items in metal fragments, amounting to a total of 11 pounds of gold, 3 pounds of silver, and some 3,500 pieces of jewelry. The founder of the hoard and the farmer on whose land the hoard was found each received a half share of the $4 billion haul. The Huxon hoard. When this guy set off for a field in Huxon village in England, it wasn't on a treasure hunt. The metal detector he'd received as a retirement gift was meant to find a hammer lost on his farmland. But the detector picked up a strong signal, and life would never be the same for this man. After bringing up only a few shovelfuls of silver spoons and gold coins, Eric Laws quickly retreated and called the police and the local archaeological society. By the time everything had been removed from the dirt, the archaeologists had nearly 60 pounds of gold and silver objects, including over 15,000 Roman coins, dozens of silver spoons, and 200 gold objects. As for archaeologists, they had their own reward. Of the 40 treasure hoards discovered in Britain, this one was the largest and latest ever found there. In the years since the unearthing of this hoard, researchers have used the objects to learn more about one of Britain's most turbulent periods, the island's separation from the Roman Empire in 410 AD. As for the farmer, Eric received $2.3 million from the British government for finding the gold and leaving it intact, which he split with the farmer on whose land the hoard was uncovered. He also eventually found that hammer. The Barr Mystery Safe. This farmer found quite the surprise in his field one day. On his Barr, New York property, someone dropped off a mysterious safe on one of his fields with a simple note saying whoever opened the safe could keep what was inside. News of the safe quickly spread through town by word of mouth and social media, and people showed up with crowbars and sledgehammers and tried to pry it open in the field, but to no avail. The county sheriff's office showed up and urged the crowd to go away. Even though it weighed more than 500 pounds, the farmer hauled the safe back to the home front with heavy machinery and tried to get it open, but no success. It's still unopened, and no one is sure who put it in his field. However, the farmer believes the contents should remain a mystery to give people a chance to set their problems aside and allow for a distraction. Now there are plans to make the mysterious safe part of a future planned history museum for the town of Barr. However, for now, the safe will go into hiding, according to the farmer. Let's see how long he can keep treasure hunters at bay. This is definitely not a typical day on the farm. The secret safe. People have found plenty of intriguing things hidden in their homes. Look what this dad found when he lifted a loose tile in the closet of his new house. Nothing like a little homegrown mystery to unsolve, right? And it's even more special when you get to share it with your family. But wait until you see what this Boca Raton dad found in a closet after he lifted a loose tile in the closet of his new home, a secret safe set into concrete. The Florida homeowner even posted a photo on social media. Just bought a house, found this hidden under the floor. How do I open it? He tried to guess the combination with help from his daughter. After a call to a local locksmith with the serial number identification, they were able to locate the manufacturer. And when the excited family finally cracked the safe, it was full of water. But that's not all. What's that shining at the bottom of the flooded safe? A single gold coin worth $187. Not bad for a little treasure hunting at home. It does make you wonder what might be hiding behind your walls or under the floor. And if you have any loose tiles in your house, make sure you search under each and every one. Treasure could be waiting. Even a gold coin worth less than $200 is still a big haul. Fun for the whole family. Don't go anywhere, and more treasures for you to uncover.